Welcome to the Salty Chip Podcast, where you're always coming back for more, with your hosts Mackenzie and Isaac.
Okay, welcome back to the Salty Chip Podcast. So today we are going through Real Housewives of Orange County lie detector test results. So we will be reading the questions that were asked, the housewives' answer, and whether they passed or failed. So first we have Emily. The question is, do you think you're a better lawyer than Shane? And the answer is yes, and she was telling the truth. She does think she is a better lawyer than Shane.
Which, didn't it take him forever to get his license? Like, she was practicing for a long time, and he, on the show, finally got his license.
I think it took him maybe 2, maybe 3 times to pass it in California.
Yeah.
But yes, she was a practicing lawyer, like, with her license before he was in California. And now he works like for his father's firm. So the next question for Emily is, do you talk badly about Heather in front of your children? Answer is no, and that is the truth.
Yeah, because it was a couple seasons ago. Katie was babysitting her kids and said
Katie's daughter.
Kids. Yeah, her daughter was babysitting her kids and said that her kids were saying all this crazy stuff about Heather.
Yeah. And then it panned to Katie, and Katie says, that's bullshit.
Yeah.
So she still stands by her daughter and what her daughter heard and what was going on about Heather during the babysitting thing. Okay, now moving on to Gina. Do you keep Heather around for real estate contacts? Answer is no, and that is the truth.
Which I feel like everyone believed that. Like, nobody thought she's only friends with Heather for her real estate contacts, you know? Because and as a real estate agent, she'd be foolish not to say, hey, if I can ever do anything for you, for sure let me know, you know?
Yeah.
But people were just hating on her for that.
So guess who asked the question?
Oh, yeah. That
Heather herself asked the question. So I thought that was funny. Yeah. And she also said that she believed Gina and
she knew that would just make like a good moment for the scene that they're doing, you know.
And Katie thinks that that's a lie.
Yeah, which, you know.
So, because I think Katie was
like almost all the questions like tie back to Katie somehow, like telling some lie, you know.
Yeah, pretty much almost. Okay, now we're on to Tamara. Did you contact Slade's ex to dig up information? And Tamara couldn't quite remember, so she said yes.
Well, no, she said maybe.
Yeah,
she was like, oh, maybe I did.
She was like, I don't know if it was like back then or recently, so I'm just going to say yes. Well, and then she passed, so like she did.
Which, you know, keep that in mind.
Yeah. Do you want a friendship with Shannon? Answer is yes, and she passed that.
Which I think everyone thinks that's probably true.
Yeah.
You know?
Were you told you were on the spectrum of autism? Answer is yes. That was a lie.
She's lying. She's trying to get sympathy.
Yes, and then it panned to the scene of her therapist saying that she should go get tested, but in no way, shape, or form said you have autism.
Yeah, the therapist, it sounded like she was like kind of nicely saying like, no, you can't blame it on that. She's like, you need to go get a test to prove that, to say whether that's the case. And Tamara takes that as, she said I'm autistic.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
I mean, that is the biggest reach ever. And it's so disgusting that she would do that. Try to get sympathy votes because of her bad behavior and blame it on autism.
Anything where it can't be her responsibility. You know, it's got to be, there's something going on, so people shouldn't be as mad at me as they otherwise would be, because it's like, oh, I can't control that.
Right.
You know.
Oof.
So I'm glad that came out, though. Not shocked that she was lying about that.
Yeah. Okay, now we're on to Jen. Jen, did you befriend Tamara with ulterior motives? Answer is no, and she passed.
Yeah, which I believe.
I think
you know,
so,
she
too.
seems like a straight up person.
Yeah.
Jen, you know, like definitely kind of crazy and makes a bunch of mistakes and like, you know, for sure, but doesn't seem like she's actively trying to go out and manipulate people like Tamra totally would or something.
Right. So, do you trust Katie Janela? The answer is yes, and she passed.
And exactly, you know, like she probably just is like, I trust people when they tell me I should trust them, and unless they've proven otherwise, like I'm gonna trust them, you know, kind of thing.
Do you have any serious reservations to marrying Ryan? Answer is no, and she failed significantly.
Yeah. Which, you know, I mean, it's like, I feel like, how could she not? They've had such a crazy
it's been intense
thing, you know, with the kids and moving houses all the time and all the
finance
who knows
stuff.
If the FBI, you know, all that drama, even if all of it was not true, just the stress that's going to put on them as like a couple or whatever.
Right. And then now we move over to Shannon. So, did you make out with multiple men in Newport? The answer is absolutely, and she passed. So she is like out having fun. And I bet maybe some of those guys are from that show.
Well, that's what I was kind of wondering is what's the Newport thing? Was that an episode they were on, or was that, I was wondering
maybe
sort of what that was referencing
like
exactly.
Caught out.
Yeah, or was that some headline or something? That
kind of like just being a little wild. Do you want a friendship with Tamra? The answer is maybe, and she passed. So she's still kind of undecided whether she wants to go back with Tamra or not.
Yeah.
Which I can get.
For sure.
I mean, honestly, Shannon has enough drama, like, around her 24/7. Is Tamra and her relationship really, like, a good thing, or is it kind of toxic?
Her life is always crashing and burning. Like, she's got to just get Tamra to, like, a stable place.
Yeah.
And Tamra is not very stable.
No.
And their friendship early on in the show
alcohol.
was just getting annihilated together, you know? Like,
yeah, for sure. Okay, so now we move on to Heather. Would you rather be a housewife of Beverly Hills? The answer is yes, and she passed.
And they all knew that was going to be yes.
Yes.
And it's funny, she starts like explaining it or like justifying it, and they're like getting more pissed off.
It's closer.
And y'all are all going to be pissed at me for saying it and say I'm so stuck up, blah, blah, blah.
And they all did.
Exactly.
In all their confessionals, they're like, she just doesn't want to be with us. She wants to be with the rich ones.
Like, everything said in that whole moment was, like, totally true from everyone.
Yeah. I think it was definitely the consensus. Okay. And then, did you call the paparazzi to meet you at Disneyland? The answer is no. And she failed it.
She was lying.
And she said she swore on her children, so of course she can't backstep on there. Which, like, housewives gotta stop doing. You have to
stop swearing on your kids, people.
Like, why are you bringing them into this? You know, everyone's like, don't touch the kids.
Michelle
the kids
was
are
the
off
last
limits.
one.
But man, they will swear on those kids, you know. First,
and like more times than not when they know they're lying. Like, you know, so it's like, oh, what are you doing? It's like the only
person you're trying to convince is yourself at this point.
Yes.
Okay. So we did Heather. Now we're on to Gretchen.
All right, here's where it starts heating up.
Okay,
this is why the whole thing happened, really.
Yeah, one thing about Gretchen, though, is when she is on film, they go, have you ever been, like, doing a polygraph before or something? And she clearly says no.
I've never done one before.
Never,
this is totally new.
And so then it's like, yes, you have. You and Slade have been on a polygraph together on this show.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure by the same company.
Yes.
Like 15 years earlier when she was on OC with Slade. Like, the girl can clearly lie through her teeth and, like, not even think 2 seconds about it. It was like a straight, like, nope. Like,
never done this.
Think about it.
Yeah, it's like, we have, like, footage of it.
Yeah. And so at this point, it's like, I believe that Gretchen did tell Katie all that stuff. I do believe Katie went and told it to Kiki.
Yeah.
And then Kiki let it out of the bag. Sure. And now Gretchen and Slade are just doing, like, damage control because either they don't want a lawsuit against them for, like, defamation from Tamra, or they want, like, to secure their spot on the show. They don't want to get kicked off.
The whole thing,
it's
so much back and forth over what was said, when was said, how it was said, that it only makes sense that they've spun this huge web of lies. They can't keep them straight, so they're they're just reacting to like the last thing they told the person, but don't remember what it was. So then they're like, no, I did tell them. But then the next person, they told them they didn't. And they're like, no, I never said that.
Yeah.
You know, like.
And, you know, they have this scene in the bus with Tamara and Shannon.
Well,
of
yeah,
her
so that's one of the.
admitting
Yes.
to going to the hospital.
That's one of the questions they ask her on the polygraph.
So here we go. Did you tell Katie and Jen that you were drugged? Answer, no. Truthful.
Yeah.
Did you go to the hospital the night after Naked Wasted? Answer, no. Truthful.
And so that's when it shows the clip that you were just mentioning of they're in the van and she tells Tamara and Shannon, and it's like a clip from this season.
Yeah.
I was so wasted. Yes, I went to the hospital.
Yeah, I was
in the
so
morning.
sick I did go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So it's so confusing.
Yeah.
That she can pass this, yet she's lying. Like,
well,
she's
so
clearly lying.
Or she was clearly lying to. That's what I think.
I don't know.
There's, you know, well, I think she was lying to Tamara and Shannon or something. I think she's just lying all the time. It's so many lies that like everything is a lie and a half truth, and it's just like, you know.
Maybe she said at the dinner, I should have gone to the hospital.
I bet she
felt like I was drugged. But then in the car, why would she say I did go
They
to
were
the
probably
hospital?
having drinks at dinner. They're having a good time. She's telling this crazy story.
Yeah.
Everybody's captivated by it. She's saying, I swear I was drugged. I went to the hospital. I had the test. I'm pretty sure she said at some point she got test results to prove it or something.
Yeah, that was
Or maybe
it.
other people said that. But, but it's just crazy. And I can totally see her saying that, telling the story at a dinner with her friends. Like, you know.
Right. I don't know. It's just...
It's crazy.
So confusing now. But now we get to Katie. So, did you tell Kiki that Gretchen said she was drugged and hospitalized? No. And she failed that. So, meaning that she did tell Kiki that.
Yeah.
Which, yeah.
So they're saying she lied. Yeah. Which totally, like.
Did you play the recording of Shannon for Alexis? Answer, no. Failed.
I do believe she probably did play that.
I think she did. I don't think
You
she
know.
sent it to her, but I bet she
played it for her. Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, like it.
You know? Of course they're gonna go to lunch and be like, "Oh my God, listen to her."
Yeah.
You know.
Totally.
Did Gretchen tell you that she was drugged and went to the hospital? Yes. And she failed that. And then the lady said she failed very badly about all the questions about Gretchen.
She did the worst out of everyone.
Yeah. So not meaning she failed other questions, because I'm sure there are other questions, but the questions about Gretchen, she failed.
She failed them all. And that was the last test. And so, you know, you got to take the test with a grain of salt, because since the episode has aired, there's been a bunch of weird stuff coming out about the polygraph takers.
Yep.
And like we mentioned at the earlier, Gretchen took a polygraph on camera, and people are saying it's the same test company.
I think it is. And now this is the test company that does all of the like Hollywood polygraph tests that we have seen on reality shows.
like.
So like the validity of it is being questioned. A lot of people are getting hung up on like, this is for show.
Well, on their
and
own
this is
website,
for
kind of their package
entertainment
offerings, they mention that. Like, this is for entertainment. This isn't like a legit thing.
Like, they'll hook them up, but not as extensively as you would be hooked up if you were like in a police interrogation polygraph.
Yeah.
You know, especially because they are like on the go and travel to you.
And
In a lot of like circumstances, and
there's like other creators who have talked to them before about doing a real polygraph, and they told them before they like bought it that like, hey, it's for entertainment purposes only, kind of thing. And so you got to consider that thinking back on the results, because so Emily set the whole thing up, so she paid for it obviously, and the whole thing is set up to try to get what the deal is with Katie.
Right.
So like Emily passes with flying colors.
Gina
Katie
passes.
totally fails it, horribly kind of thing. And so it's like, I'm sure whoever is paying for the polygraph test can sway the results.
right.
You know?
And you know, the lady reading the results, like, it is entertaining. It is, you know,
she knows what she's doing there.
Yeah.
And she knows what this show is. And I guarantee you, when Emily booked her, she told him why we're booking her. We have this friend who we think's lying. We know she's lying, and we want to catch them all, you know, kind of thing. Like, so I feel like you really got to take it with a grain of salt of like, you know, there was a goal with all of the
100%,
testing that like it was predetermined how they wanted it to end up.
Right. And also, like, do we even care that Katie told Kiki anymore? I think everyone's more focused on the fact that Gretchen is straight up lying to everyone because they showed in the bus that scene, and people are not moving forward from that to her saying, like, denying it all.
Yeah.
And so now that is the most confusing thing. Now I think people don't really care that Kiki told, or that Katie told Kiki.
No.
People are more focused on the fact that Gretchen is just straight up liar.
Yeah, I think that's going to blow up in the next few episodes. Because when she first said no and it showed the flashback, Shannon and Tamara were kind of looking like, oh, that's interesting. But again, the whole point was really to just like, you know, jump on Katie and prove you're a liar. So they were like, okay, we're going to let that slide under the radar for now. Because we got to like nuke Katie at the end of this.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to come back of like, but wait, you just told us in the van on camera, blah, blah, blah. And I wouldn't be surprised if they mentioned the polygraph thing too. Like, and you said you've never done a polygraph, but you have. It's on camera. Like, almost with the same company doing this one, you know.
Well, and, you know, honestly, watching all of this, Gretchen looked a little performative when she did meet up with Kiki. Like, all the crying afterwards and so emotional. Like, this isn't that deep. It's not that emotional.
Almost 20 years ago.
Yeah, like, you shouldn't be crying on camera like that. I don't know. I thought
it gives off major manipulation vibes.
Yeah, it just seemed like this is a very, very, very strong reaction to a blogger finding out some story that you said.
Yeah.
That's like, let's be honest, it's not like a huge deal.
Well, it's been so much time that it's like, it's even weird. It's kind of like coming back up in general, you know? But I think they just have told so many lies that like, she's always just playing it up with whoever she's talking to next about it and whatever they're saying. So when it's Kiki, it's, oh my God, this is horrible.
Yeah.
When it's Shannon and Tamara, I was so wasted. I had to go to the hospital.
Right.
When she's at dinner with her friends, I bet she is like, oh, she drugged me and I went, you know, like just making it sound all crazy.
Right, right.
Uh,
Oh, well, we'll definitely keep everyone updated on how this season progresses with Katie and Gretchen and just everyone else that's involved.
yeah. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.